welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing good. Thank you so much for the support and the love on the last video, because I've had a bit of a break, but yay to be back. I'm so excited. I'm more excited for this video. Frosted glass spray. Now, it's been a while since I've used this. Probably 6 years ago on my channel I was using this, but this is what I've used it for most recently, and it's just to give me some privacy on my windows in my craft room, because I can see into other people's properties and I didn't want them seeing me with my respirator on and like calling the police. So I gave myself some privacy with this frosted glass spray, and since I bought it a few months back, I've been itching to try it on epoxy resin, and now's the time, guys. I bought some of these. Now, if you saw the last video, you'll know I did a little bit of an Amazon haul with the support of my patrons. Thank you, guys. And this was part of the haul. So I bought some large stencils. These are plastic stencils from Amazon, a huge pack of leaves and very palm type leaves, botanical, autumnal leaves, all of that. Honestly, the choices in this pack are crazy, and I'm already, I know, oh no, I shouldn't say it out loud because you'll come for me. Autumn. These are giving me autumn vibes, but I'm going to predominantly use the summery kind of palm leaf vibe, you know, the tropical plant vibe. That's what I'm going for in this video. Now, the mold I'm using is the long tray mold from Molds and Shapes. You would have seen this mold in a very recent kind of like haul video. They sent me a ton of molds. It's massive. It's about 40 centimeters across, and I'm going to do a multi-layered creation. So this did take me 4 days to make just because of the multiple layers of resin. First thing I'm doing, cleaning the mold. Now, the best way to get any debris off your mold is by using tape. So I just ran over it with tape. And of course, you guys know, if you follow me, I'm a massive advocate for PPE. I won't let anyone tell me I don't need a mask. So of course my respirator and my gloves are going on. Now, if you'd like to know where I got my respirator, I've linked everything down below in my description box. The resin I'm using in this video is all going to be the Apex from Just For You Online, super crystal clear resin. And at this point, I really wasn't sure how much I needed. So I've got these measuring cups that go up to 240 mil. I think gram as well, they're the same thing. So I've gone up to 120 with part A, and then I've gone up to 240 with part B. This is measurable by volume, which is why these calibrated cups with the measurements on the sides are so perfect. I mix my resin for 5 solid minutes. Now, most resin companies will recommend 3 minutes, but I always like to mix for 5 just to make sure that it is thoroughly, totally and utterly mixed. And if anything goes wrong, it's the process of elimination. I know I mixed it because I mix it for 5. So if anything else goes wrong, I know it wasn't me. I know it wasn't my mixing. Also, measure properly as well. Now, at this point, I don't know why it's gone slightly to the bottom of the screen, and my guess is I knocked the phone holder above my head. So many people have asked me what I use to film. Guys, I film on my phone. I always have, and I probably always will. It's just so easy. And phones nowadays, the cameras are incredible. So I film on my phone, and it's held up with a phone clip holder, and I must have knocked it. So I'm sorry that went off screen. We are outside now. It is beautiful here in the UK right now, like unbearable heat. So I got out as early as I could so that nothing melted. Here's the thing. We are using plastic stencils at this point. We know they're not going to cling. If I was spraying it directly on the mold, they would cling to the mold, but it's a brand new mold and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it for a biscuit. I don't want to destroy the mold at this point. So we know we're going to get real kind of magical blurred edges on this. We're not going to get it 100% neat. So don't go into this thinking you're going to get a perfect stencil result here, because of course this is not going to lay flat on cured epoxy resin. So you have to allow yourself the knowledge that you're going to get wispy. It's going to be wispy. It's going to be very, very wispy and ethereal. Is that the right word? Very, yeah, I don't know, wispy. So yeah, nothing neat is going to be seen in this video. I just went through my stencils, like what is going to work for this aesthetic. I didn't want anything too autumnal. I definitely didn't want oak leaves and things like that. But mostly the stencils I used were these ones here. And you see me here just trying as much as possible to spray from directly above. But spraying from directly above was kind of blocking your view. So I did spray at a tad angle. And of course that meant even more spray was going underneath the stencil. And that's okay. That's okay, because I'm fully expecting this blended kind of hazy, that's the word. There's the word, hazy result. But yeah, I just carried on as you see me here. I'm not doing the whole stencil. I'm just picking parts of the stencil that I want to spray over, and I'm just going for it. I'm just filling gaps at this point. I know it's still going to give me a botanical vibe. This one here I thought was super cute, and if this one pays off, then I'll really see it nice and clearly, and it did. Now this spray, it does take a few seconds to dry, so when it goes on, it almost looks like the negative of the stencil, if that makes sense, because it's still super wet. But honestly, it was so hot this morning, as in not today, but this morning that I was filming, it was so hot. The spray was drying really fast, and then you could really see this frosted result. I shouldn't say this out loud either, but it reminded me of a frosty Christmas morning. Claire, will you stop? Okay, we're in summer. Beautiful. I absolutely loved this result, and I was so excited that, you know, the vision I had of how I wanted it to look in the end was really coming to life. So at this point, you can see the frosting spray has fully worked on the epoxy resin, on the cured epoxy resin. Now at this point, I know I need another layer of resin for the next layer of spray paint. So here we are. This is about half an hour after frosting, after using the spray, about 30 minutes later. I've mixed up another batch of the Just For You Online Apex, and I know that 240 is enough to really give me a beautiful layer across this whole tray. And it was at this point I was like, have I made the right decision? Because I know that that frosting spray is in there. So I already know that when I demold this, we will see the frosting spray. But it kind of made it go invisible when I poured the next layer of resin on, and I got cold feet, guys. I got cold feet. I know I could kick myself. I really could kick myself. I decided the second layer I would try gold. Now, at this point, I know the results. So I will 100% be doing a frosting project soon using just the frosting, because oh my goodness me. I decided at this point though to go with gold. I was scared, and like I said, I really could kick myself. So at this point I decided second layer is going to be gold. Now in my thought processes were here that the frosting spray is well and truly in there. It's just I was really struggling to see it. However, if I put gold on the back of that, you will be able to see the frosting spray, because it's going to take away some of the gold, if that makes sense. You'll see something's on top of the gold. So I figured, hey, what's the worst that can happen? We're going to have a beautiful tray at the end of this, regardless of what we do from here on in. It's going to be gorgeous. So again, it's not the neatest of spray jobs, because of course this is a plastic stencil. It's not self-adhesive. It's not going to stick to the epoxy resin. So I'm using paper at this point to try and protect the rest of the tray each and every time I chose something to spray in. And again, trying to spray from directly above the stencil to avoid as much as possible that spray paint getting down in. If we spray at a real angle, that's just going to go straight under the stencil and splurge out over the surface of your piece. Equally, I was conscious that I might block your view, so I was just doing my best to get as the angles, you know. The choice, what you do here, is really up to you. I can see the possibilities for this being endless. Like, I've already said I'm 100%. 100% gonna do another project where I'm using frosting spray and frosting spray only. But imagine this in like a deeper dish. So like you've got, say, a 2 to 3 centimeter deep silicone mold, and you do one layer and you put just gold around the edges, just around the edges, and then you do another layer of resin and you bring those stencils in a bit, and then you do another layer of resin and then you bring them in even further. And even if you've got the room, another layer of resin and you fill that gap. Like the depth, oh my gosh, guys, the depth you are going to get in that project is going to be insane, because every layer of spray paint is going to cast a shadow on the layer underneath. Like, I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to try it. Not just gold either, like other colours. Imagine that in different shades of green, different shade. Oh my gosh, stop, Claire, you're getting ahead of yourself. Stop it. I haven't even started anything else yet and I'm already excited. I have got an exciting video coming up on Saturday, and that is my Summerween video. Stop it now. You guys know I love Halloween, Summerween. Ooh, Saturday's video. Keep your eyes open for it. This is the result of the gold spray paint. Now, at this point, I could visibly see the frosting spray underneath, but I didn't think my camera was really picking it up. Now, I'll be honest, I was going to go for like a neutral nude tone on the back, and I put it to my patrons, and while some of them said yes, neutral and brown, the majority of my patrons, thank you guys by the way, said go with a green, like some kind of green, greeny greyish, greeny brown. So that is what I decided to do, because that got the majority kind of vote on my Patreon. So thank you guys for sorting this out for me. This is where I need you guys most, when I'm like, I don't know what to do next. So first up, we've got this stunning, oh guys, I can't get enough of this colour. This is the stunning mica powder from Just For You Online, the teal. Then we're going in with some Resin Pro in like a beigey pink almost colour, like a ballet slipper colour. I figured that would give me some neutral undertones in the green. But this green, oh guys, it is so pigmented and stunning. One of my favourite colours. I think I'm turning into a green girl, not a blue girl anymore. It was too dark for me. I just felt like this would be too dark. So I added some of the Vista lighter green, and this brought it almost too light. Oh, some days are like this. Some days are like this. Now, the Vista pigment is a paste. It's a very watery paste. So that takes the longest kind of like to mix in, making sure that you've fully incorporated that paste into the resin. But we ended up with a beautiful, would you call it avocado, like an avocado-y olivey green. Too light for me, so I went back in with some more mica powder. Now, if you're worried about ratios at this point, the dry ingredients, resin can really handle dry ingredients a lot better. So even if people say like don't put too much in, you're okay with dry ingredients. If you put dryness in, it's okay. It's the liquid components that you really need to really worry about. Equally, you're not going to go crazy. Like, you're not going to put a whole tub of anything in anything. So I did add a bit more of a darker one to give me more of a jade. So we've got like a darker jade colour here. You can't really see it. In this angle, it looks, again, very, very light. But then when I changed angles on the camera and I got a little bit closer here, you can see it is the darkness that my eyes could see, that my camera wasn't really picking up. So it is this beautiful jade green, and I just felt like this was definitely the right decision. So thank you, patrons. 24 hours later, and it is time to demold. And oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I had leftovers, poured it in this mold. Haven't demolded that yet. We'll see that in a future video. These are the results. I immediately got Roman Empire, Greek gods, Aphrodite vibes. Immediately. You know the gold headbands that they wear in all of the old movies, like the thorns and the vines that they wear around their head? That is what this was giving me. Now, I'm going to try my best here to get the angles for you so you can just see it. Left, see bottom left, you just see the frosting spray coming through, and you can just about work it out here on the surface. It's giving magical, floating, shadowy, wispy vibes. I tried every angle, guys, for you to be able to see that frosting spray, and I failed in every shot. So I'm going to try and put some finishing shots here on for you, but this tray is massive and it holds so much. Of course, I wouldn't use it for this, but I just wanted to show you just how big this tray was. If you had some real precious surfaces in your home and you really didn't want anything to get on there, this tray, oh my gosh, it is massive. I am so buzzing with this spray paint effect. You know, frosting spray aside, even the gold, oh gosh, even the gold, like I was saying, multi-layered, 4, 5, 6 layers of in a deeper mold. I cannot wait to explore this further. And it's just like, honestly, when I think there's no more ideas out there, then I try this, and this is going to lead me on to so many other more attempts and more experiments, and I'm so excited. But yes, I'm trying my best for you to be able to see the frosting spray. Just please tell me you can see it. And because of this, because of getting nervous and getting cold feet and just feeling like this is going to be a fail, I realise now it probably wouldn't have been, and it would have been magnificent. So I'm definitely going to try that in a future video. Thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I am excited to try it some more, which I will be doing. I appreciate you all very much. If you've been here in the live chat, thank you. And oh my gosh, thank you to nearly 160 people that came into the live chat on Monday. Just honestly, after I took a break, I genuinely didn't know how many would come back, but you all came back and more. So thank you. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.